Well, another candidate entering the race for Springfield's next mayor, this one a city alderman. ABC News Channel 20's Maggie Poteau here in studio with more on why Gail Simpson thinks she's the best person to lead the capital city. Maggie.
Well, Vince, Ward 2 Alderman Gail Simpson was first elected to office back in 2007. Simpson says that she believes that the foundation of any thriving city should include education, business, economic development, arts, shopping, and recreation. The Ward 2 alderman says that if elected, she would address homeless concerns and come up with a viable long-term solution. She also plans to focus on returning integrity to the city of Springfield and building a more balanced capital city.
We have two Springfields. We have a flourishing Springfield, and then we have the other side. And I think people want to believe in their elected representatives. They want to believe that they count for something. I plan to bring confidence back to the city of Springfield and its residents so that people believe that we're working for them.
Now, once all of the paperwork is turned in, Simpson will face current Mayor Mike Houston, County Auditor Paul Palazzolo, and City Treasurer Jim Langfelder in the 2015 election. The election is set for April 7th. Vince.
Tonight's top story at 10 o'clock, the state's minimum wage, a hot topic this election season in Illinois. Governor Pat Quinn wants to increase it, so he's decided to illustrate the need by living on $8.25 an hour for a week. And that has his critics tonight calling it nothing but a cheap election year stunt. ABC News Channel 20's Maggie Poteau here in studio tonight as the governor answers his cynics. Maggie.
Well, Vince, with 2 months before Illinois voters decide on a non-binding referendum to raise the state's minimum wage, Governor Pat Quinn stopped in Decatur today to talk to residents about his push to raise it from $8.25 an hour to $10. Now, Governor Quinn is also spending this week living on minimum wage after accounting for rent, taxes, and gas. The governor has just $79 to spend for the rest of the week. Now, critics call the governor's minimum wage challenge a shtick that they aren't falling for. But Quinn says that this challenge is not about a show.
I compare myself to somebody who makes the minimum wage. They deal with this 52 weeks a year. I'm doing it for a few days. But it's all about raising awareness, and I think it is important to do that in our country.
Why don't you focus on business reform, as Bruce Rauner has, workers' comp, etc., so that we can get those good jobs back in our state so people don't have to settle for minimum wage.
Well, that was Senator Chapin Rose's reaction to Governor Quinn's calls to raise the minimum wage. Republican challenger Bruce Rauner has previously stated that he would support rolling back the minimum wage to $7.25 an hour. But after being harshly criticized, he flip-flopped, saying that he would support an increase if it came with other business-friendly legislation. Vince.
Trouble for the Illinois National Guard tonight. The unit was given money for training, but now it has to give some of it back. ABC News Channel 20's Maggie Poteau here with more on why the Guard has to give the money back and the problems it's causing. Maggie.
Well, Vince, the federal government sets aside money for the National Guard training. Then the National Guard Bureau passes out the funding to each state. But the Bureau says that it gave out too much money in the last month of the previous fiscal year, and they're taking that extra money back. That money was to pay for training drills this month. Here in Illinois, the National Guard is now pinching pennies elsewhere to make ends meet so it can pay for its annual drill weekend. It's been rescheduled for the last weekend of the month, giving organizers more time to get the money they need.
And we do realize that this it causes some hardship for our soldiers. One, just a matter of timing and planning, and it kind of upsets their schedule in a way. Others, this is a part-time job, and those soldiers rely on that drill check to make a car payment or whatever it is.
The National Guard Bureau says that it plans to ask Congress for more money so the money being taken back can be replaced. The Illinois National Guard tells us so far it hasn't received an explanation for why the money wasn't properly distributed in the first place. Vince.